Hello, and it's Mr. C with your level 6 math. Today we're doing lesson 21 on divisibility. Now this is a really interesting lesson because we're going to look at ways of dividing to figure out what different factors are parts of numbers. Now we're going to do some divisibility tests in this lesson to determine if a number is divisible by 2, 3, 5, 9, or 10. Now 2, 3, 5, and 10 we've done before, or 2, 5, and 10. 3 and 9 are going to be some new ones, and we're going to teach you this really pretty cool way of figuring out if a number is divisible by 3 or 9. So this is kind of a cool lesson. There are different ways of discovering if numbers are factors of other numbers without actually dividing. So for example, even numbers are all divided by 2, so we know if it's an even number, it's all divisible by 2, okay? We have tests for divisibility that help us. Now, we've already done 2. If the last digit is even, we know it's divisible by 2. With 5, if the last digit is a 0 or a 5, so in like the number 15, the last digit is a 5, so we know it's divisible by 5. If the last digit is a 0, like 30, we also know it's divisible by 5. So that's kind of a cool test to find if it's divisible by 5. 10 is if the last digit is 0. So any number with the last digit 0, 3,000, 30, 60, they're all divisible by 10 because the last digit is 0. Those things you probably already knew, even if you haven't really thought about it. Here are the ones that maybe you didn't know. Sum of digits test. If you add the digits of a number and inspect the total, you'll find that it can be divisible by 3 or 9. So the rule for 3 is if you add up all the digits, so let's look at this number, 319. What it means is we're going to add up 3 plus 1 is 4 plus 9 is 12. Now, is 12 divisible by 3? Yes, it is. Is 12 divisible by 9? No. So this number is divisible by 3. And we can test that. Let's divide it by 3. 3 goes into 3 one time. And then we get 19. And actually, this one doesn't check out. So it doesn't always work. 4 plus 9. Oh, 4 plus 9 is 13. That's why. Duh, this is why we check our work in math. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 9 is 13. It's not 12. And so it wouldn't be divisible by either one. And that's why we do this test. It should always work. All right, so let's try one of these. Which of these numbers is divisible by 2? Well, we know our rule for 2 is if it's an even number. So 365, odd. 1117, odd. 1556, even. So we know it's this one, 1556. All right, so we can go through all this, but we just know that it's that last one because that's divisible by 2. All right, which of these numbers is divisible by 3? So we have to add up the digits. 3 plus 6 is 9. 9 plus 5 is 14. Does 14 divide by 3? No. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 7 is 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. Does 18 divide by 3? Yes. So it is 1179. But let's look at this one too. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 5 is 11. 11 plus 6 is 17. Does that divide by 3? No. So we know it's 1179 is divisible by 3. So it's just showing we can add up 3 plus 6 plus 5. We already did that, so we're going to fast forward through all these and see that the answer is 1179. Now it says, is 9536 divisible by 2? No, because it's not even. By 3? Well, we'd have to know, we'd have to add it up. So 9 plus 5 is 14, plus 3 is 17, plus 6 is 23. Does 23 divide by 3? No, so this wouldn't work. How do we know? It ends with a 6, so it's divisible by 2, even. The sum of the digits is 23, so it's not divisible by 3 or by 9. All right, last example here. Which of the numbers 2, 3, 5, and 9, and 10 are factors of 135? Well, the rule of 5 is if it ends in a 5 or a 0, does it? Yep, so it is divisible by 5. The rule of 10 is if it ends in a 0, it doesn't, so it's not 10. Rule of 2 is if it's divisible by 2 or an even number, and it's not. So for 3 and 9, we just have to add it up. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. Does 9 divide by 3? Yes. Does 9 divide by 9? Yes. So it's both 3 and 9 in this one, okay? So let's check our work just by looking through this thing. So we did all these tests already. 1 plus 3 plus 5 is 9. So we know 3, 5, and 9 are factors of 135. Now let's predict. Will the product of any two prime numbers of 135 given above, so this multiplied by this or this multiplied by this, will those also be a factor of 135? Yes, because if you can divide 135 by any number, it will give you that other number. So the answer to that would be yes. And that's it. This is kind of a crazy lesson, just a cool way to figure out what the different factors are for any given number. So you're going to practice this in your homework today. Good luck.